Hello everyone and welcome back to Creation of the Sound. I'm your host Alex. In this video we are going to continue exploring the great jazz arranging book written by Mike Tomaro. I'll change a little bit the approach to the book. Here we will read and apply the information from the book to the examples for each small paragraph. Let's get started. Time signature alteration. Another idea for creating a fresh interpretation of a melody is the alteration of the time signature. This conversion can involve simple or compound meters. It requires the augmentation, such as multiplying or lightening or diminution, dividing or shortening of the note values and harmonic rhythm, the rate of the rhythm at which chords change. The first step in this process is to choose the new time signature. The most probable alteration for any 4/4 tune such as Billy Boy is to change the meter to 3/4. The next decision involves the measure-to-measure ratio between the two time signature. The two possible ratios for a 4/4 or 3/4 conversion are 1:1 or 1:2. A 1:1 ratio indicates that one measure of 4/4 will equal one measure of 3/4, while a 1:2 ratio denotes that one measure of 4/4 will equal two measures of 3/4. The 1:1 alteration involves the diminution of the 4/4 notes values and harmonic rhythm to fit 4 beats of music into 3. Below is a 4/4 to 3/4 alteration of the original version of the Billy Boy found at the beginning of this chapter, using a ratio 1:1. And now let's apply this principle to my tune what I choose to arrange. We're going to choose first to have ratio 1:1, that means 1 bar 4/4 is equal to 1 bar of 3/4. Time signature change will not be considered completed if you haven't applied the paraphrase. The great note from the writer to us is this, I'm quoting the book. There are three important points concerning the 1:1 ratio alteration from the 4/4 to 3/4. First, diminution of note values does not provide much space for the insertion of new melodic material, such as connecting tones, neighbor tones, or fills. Second one, due to the compression of the harmonic rhythms, there is limited space for the further reharmonization. Third one, this alteration is most effective when applied to tunes containing a majority of longer notes values. The compression of an occasional 8 notes line is a bit cumbersome, but possible at slower tempos. The diminution at several successive measures of this can be tedious and unmusical. And on the other side, the ratio 1:2 from 4 to 3/4 involves the augmentation of the full 4 note value and harmonic rhythm to extend 4 beats into 6. This time change will have the following characteristic. The first one, this stretching of the music allows both melody and harmony to breathe and provides more freedom to reinterpret both of these musical aspects. Second, this conversion can be applied to any tune, no matter how many 8 notes are present. This conversion works and in the opposite direction when you are converting from the 3/4 into 4/4. You can use 1:1 ratio or 2:1 ratio measures. Our next step is to convert in simple to compound meter. The conversion of the tunes from simple to compound meters also involves 2:1 and 1:1 ratio, albeit in a slightly different manner. The ratio 2:1 alteration involves the subtraction of one of the bit from every other measure of the standard meter, and the compression of the note values to fit into one measure of the complex meter. In order to preserve the inherent rhythmic qualities of the simple meters, continuing with the compound ones, like such as 5/4 equal 3/4 plus 2/4, 7/4 equal 4/4 plus 3/4. The first of the two simple meters measure usually remains rhythmically intact, with the compression occurring in the second measure. The next two examples illustrate conversion of 3/4 to 5/4 and 4/4 to 7/4 using this ratio. The 1:1 ratio works only when creating a 4/4 to 5/4 conversion. 3/4 to 4/4 has already been shown, and 3/4 to 5/4 involves use of a 2:1 ratio. Here the 4/4 note values are stretched into 5 bits. In actuality, this conversion involves two processes. As mentioned above, the qualities of the simple meters contained within the compound one should be retained. Consequently, the most efficient way to create a 4/4 to a 5/4 alteration using a 1:1 ratio is to first create a 4/4 to 3/4 alteration using a 1:2 ratio. So basically, to be able to convert 4/4 to 5/4 in the most efficient way, we need to convert 4/4 to 3/4 using the 1:2 ratio, and then 3/4 convert to 5/4 using a 2:1 ratio. Here we see how it works in our example. This two-step process may seem a bit lengthy, but its use will ensure the rhythmic retention of the 3/4 to 2/4 division of this compound meter. As experience with simple meters subdivision of compound meters is acquired, this two-step process can be eliminated in favor of single alteration. Conversion to the larger compound meters, such as 9/4, 11/4, cannot be expressed easily using ratios. Effective alteration to these meters are depend upon the creativity of the arranger. Melody reconstruction. The alteration of jazz standard and American popular song has proliferated throughout jazz history. Their modification range and complexity from single melodic paraphrase, reharmonization, and time signature alteration to elaborate revoking incorporating all of these elements. An inventive writer can take any tune, no matter how tried, and transform it into a brand new piece of music that barely resembles its model. To summarize everything what was said and read in this chapter, I would quote again the author. Melodic paraphrase cannot be accomplished effectively through the use of any one device, with the possible exception of rhythmic alteration, a process involving the intelligent integration of all of them. Below is a fully realized version of the Billy Boy that utilizes all the devices discussed in this chapter. They are indicated in the examples by numerous as follows. First, rhythmic alteration. Second, fragmentation. Third, connecting tones. Fourth, neighbor tones. Fifth, fills. Sixth, articulation. Seventh, dynamics. 8. Ornaments and inflection. The paraphrase should ultimately be conceived as a single entity containing many different elements. The experienced arranger does not decide to add only neighbor tones or fills in any particular section of music. It is the subtle mixture of all these devices that creates an effective paraphrase that can provide a foundation for an arrangement. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed and learned something more from this. Please subscribe, leave a comment, that's really helpful to grow this channel. Again, I'm Alex and you've been on the Creation of the Sound channel. And see you next time.